Hello everyone, blessed Beltane to all of you. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. This week we are going to be coloring in the green man that we drew last week. I am going to be using alcohol markers, and I've already swatched them. These are the colors and the brand that I'm going to be using. As always, I will put all my supplies in the description box as well. Last week I talked about how it could be mixed media. You don't have to draw the flowers if you don't want to. So I thought it'd be kind of fun. I got some different punches out and I punched out some leaves. And then my mom actually had these really cool little flowers. So I went ahead and glued some of those together and put some little gemstones in the center. So I kind of left these here just for a second so you could see them. I'm going to color it all in first and then I'll come back and add these. But I wanted you to see it because now he's going to look crazy. He's going to look like he's bald. And I kind of left the actual head shape just so you could kind of see, because once you erase all that, it's kind of hard to see where like his actual head is with all of his hair and everything. So I just kind of left that so you could kind of get a visual of that. This will all be colored in. So I don't know if you've ever worked with alcohol markers. You have to go fast, and the more you layer, the darker they'll get. So I'm gonna take you along with me as I color him in. I have greens and then I have browns. This was the one that I had drawn originally. So I did some really bold greens and then brought in other greens for the different shades. You'll want a light, a medium, and a dark, and then you can kind of blend them all together. For the antlers and his ears, I actually went with a little bit darker colors this time. A little bit richer, I guess, I thought this was maybe a little bit too light, so I wanted to kind of try something a little bit different. I have three basic tones that I'm using for the face, which is yellow green, absinthe, and bronze green. And then I just grabbed three other greens that I can mix in for the eyes and then also into the hair, just to differentiate a little bit between the two. I will be using the face colors also within the beard and the hair, but I thought it'd be nice to add a few extra little green colors in there as well. So I am gonna go ahead and color all the way up to here too, even though that's gonna be covered, just in case there is a little piece where it peeks through, just to keep it kind of easy. So I had already traced it, obviously, and then I outlined it in a number 8 Superior needle drawing pen, and it is waterproof. So when I bring the markers in and go over it, it's not going to bleed. So I always test that off on a separate piece of paper. And you want to let it dry for just a second as well before you go over it. So I'm going to give that a second. And then you can bring your marker over it, and then you can see that it didn't bleed. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I am going to actually start with the darkest color, and that can seem really scary. It'll look really crazy until we start adding the other layers. So don't freak out, but it's a good way to just kind of get those shadows in really well. I'm going to have this kind of laying here for now. When I post the video, I'm going to have this kind of sitting over here so you can actually see how I work with this little guy. But he's not done yet, so I can't put him over here yet. So you can see I changed the drawing a little bit. His face is a little bit bigger. Like I said in the first video, I can't seem to draw small no matter how hard I try. But I thought this head, I felt like it wasn't a whole head. Anyways, I think the proportions are a little bit better on this one. So I'm gonna just start with the darkest color, which is the bronze green. So bronze green, it's from Ohuhu. And we'll put the darkest shadows in around the eyes, the cheekbones. I might even put a little bit more kind of around the mustache and stuff. And then I won't put any in up here yet, because the leaves aren't in, so I'll wait and kind of add those a little bit later. You want to make sure that you've got all of your lines erased really well, because once you put the alcohol marker over, you won't be able to erase those. So I'm just going to double check here, make sure all those are out of the way. I'll erase this line here shortly after I kind of get to that point. Okay, so like I said, you want to kind of move quickly. I'll zoom in a little bit. And we can just start right here with the cheekbone first. And you just gotta move quickly so that they blend together. And then I'll kind of go back in and touch those edges. But the more you go over it, the darker it will get. And I went a little bit outside the line, but that's okay. So I'm just going up and down as quick as I can. Like so. And then put some under his eye. Go along this line here, this line here, and actually all of this would be in shadow because his hair is also creating a shadow. And then right here is also a darker shadow. And then I'll mimic that on the other side. There's a little highlight up here because, you know, our faces are round. They're not flat, so there would be highlights as well. And then do a little bit down here, kind of rounding this off. So, and then I'll do a little bit also kind of on the sides of the nose. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of a shadow right around that mustache. And then I'll go ahead and put some right here on this hairline. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and just put some here on that top lip. And then I'm going to go in with the second darkest, which is the Absinthe, which is GY5 in the Ohuhu. And this time I'm going to go over the dark part and then also add a little bit out farther so that it's creating depth with the dark and then moving into the medium, and then I'll add the light. So we'll put in this shadow here, which just goes to the edge of the nose. But I'm also going into the shading that I already put on. And then we'll go under the eye a little bit again, come out a little bit from that area there. And I'm going to go just a little bit around that edge of the cheekbone. And then trace over that. And as you see, each time I trace, I am going out a little bit farther. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of this into that eyelid, but only on the edges, because there would be a highlight as well on the top of the eyelid. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill his eye in with this color as well, and then I'll bring other colors in later. And I'll kind of go around the outer edges of his lips. And now I'm going to go in with my yellow green, and you could use any greens you want. I kind of went with yellow greens. They all have a Y in them, just so that I kind of wanted them to be a little bit warmer. And now I'm going to go in He's kind of big up here, so I'm actually going to use the bullet nib for this part. And I'm going to kind of start up here. Oh, that's streaky. I don't like that. Luckily, that'll be covered up. So I'm going to go ahead and just go in with the brush nib. I may have to get another, I think I have another yellow-green. This one might just be running out of ink. And I'm going to go right over the eyebrows because I'm going to paint those, or color those in green too. And you're just going to go over all the areas that you've already done, as well as the areas that you haven't done yet. This is basically his base color. And you want to go fast so that it blends together. And actually add a little bit into the eye as well, because there's also a shadow. Usually, like if I'm doing a regular person, I would add that in with like a gray color. So that is really streaky. So I grabbed another one that is the same color as this one. It's just a different marker. I'm going to go back over it, but I'm going to go this direction this time. Looks a little bit darker. I'm using kind of the side, not just the tip. When it's a really big section, it can be a little bit more challenging. We paint the sky green. I'm actually not going to go over, at least not yet, the sides of the nose or the bridge of the nose, because those would also be quite highlighted. And I'm not going to touch this little part on the eyebrow either. And then you'll just go back and forth a little bit, darkening any areas that you want. I'm going to go back in, and this is with the absinthe, which is the middle color. I'm always kind of trying to go the opposite direction, or diagonal, just so that it blends a little bit better. Who's the winner tonight, but it ain't me. Where are you now? When my fears are worse than ever. When the night goes on forever. When I'm losing track of time. Where are you now? When I need you more. And then you just keep going back over with your base color. Just want to see, this was the original yellow green that I used. I want to see what that does. Even though it's the same marker brand, sometimes the shades are just a little bit different, which is weird, but it happens. And across brands, it can say that they're all yellow green, but they're all just a little bit different. When it's a little bit of a larger surface, you want to go fast, but you also have to kind of pace yourself, or that's how you get the streaks, because the marker isn't getting enough of a chance to get the ink out as you're kind of running it across the page. And I'm going to go in with that middle color in the eyebrow. And just kind of do some squigglies for right now. Seriously, he looks hilarious without having any hair or anything at the top. Oh my goodness, it's cracking me up. I'm going to come back to the eyes a little bit later. Now we're just going to go ahead and go into the hair and the beard. And I just like to take all the different colors and just add each of them in. I kind of broke it off into chunks, and I'll kind of make each of those a little bit of a different color, and then I'll go back in and just do some quick swipes to add more depth. Get these other colors out. And I don't necessarily have a method to my madness on this. I just kind of start going. I don't overthink it, just getting some color down. Again, I'm still kind of working quickly, just picking some areas to put the color down. And if I want to change the shape as I'm going, I'll just cut it off. And then I can go back in later with my liner.
Aren't you tired of the drama? You use your words like they are knives. I don't need that type of drama and trying to be tough all the damn time. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong, I'm ready for the rematch. Shoot me down, don't you know I get up? Yeah, baby, I will fight. No, there ain't nothing stopping me. I'm bulletproof, I won't fall. I'm bulletproof, go on and shoot me down. I will always get up again. You're looking at me so cold. Get over yourself, are you for real? Why are you looking at me so cold? One's love is now we're enemies. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong, I'm ready for the rematch.
So I'm going to leave the beard and mustache like that for now. And I'm going to go into the antlers and the ears now with my different browns. And again, I'm using burnt sienna, mahogany, and chocolate. And this time I'm just going to start with the lightest color and then work my way up to the darkest. I'd love to know if you celebrate Beltane, and if you do, if you're doing anything special this year. It's raining where I live, so I don't know how much time I'll get to spend outside. I did plant flowers this week and have gone on lots of walks outside this week, just with the Beltane energy. I also just celebrated a birthday, so my Taurus energy, and it was a Taurus new moon. It's been a very energetic week for me. Yesterday I was exhausted. Everything just kind of caught up with me, I think. But I'm gonna be pulling some tarot cards later. Of course, I'm working on some art, and I think I might try to bake honey cakes this year. I've never done that before. I'm gonna grill out later. I'm gonna get some flowers, decorate my little table. All right, now I'm bringing in the second color. And now I'm just gonna start building up some of those shadows, and I'm gonna make the top of the ear a little darker than the inside of the ear. And remember, you can tag me on Bluesky. And now I'm going in with the chocolate color, which is the darkest color. And I'm gonna just add in some little, like would be kind of little hairs, I think. Just be kind of subtle. Just kind of making some little dashes. And now I'm going to go ahead and start filling in the antlers as well, using the same colors. And as you saw when I first started my video, I will be adding some flowers and stuff in here too, so I'm not really worried about it being perfect. Not that I would be anyways, but I'm just going to start filling it in, adding some little, little grooves, so it's kind of like, looks like bark almost, like an antler, because it has texture and stuff, so I'm going to be using all the different markers to accomplish that as well. Now that I have all of that colored in, I'm just going to kind of take a quick little overview and see if I want to add any more colors in. I think I'm going to add a little bit more to his eyes. Just a little bit. Deepen some of those more shadow areas. I bring a little bit of those other colors in there, just a little bit as well. As you can see, I just kind of flicked my marker kind of through the hair as I was going, just to add in some kind of like loose little flyaway hairs as well. So it's not quite so rigid, if you will. Give it a little bit more movement and flow. I added a little bit more hair kind of coming out of this area up here as well. There we go. Now we're gonna go in with our black liner, and I'm using my Posca, and I'm going to add in some of the more fine lines within the beard and the mustache, and then I'm going to color in the pupils. So I'm going to give this where I added a little bit more, a little bit of an outline, and then I'm going to add a little bit more of the black in to differentiate some of those bigger sections that I created, just to add in a little bit more texture. So I'm going to kind of do that throughout a little bit here too, and then I will be back to chat with you some more. Now I'm going to bring in some white, same Posca pen, to add in just a few little highlights. Posca pens are acrylic markers, not alcohol markers. And I like to make them kind of go a little bit of it all different directions as well, so that it also looks kind of more like there's little flyaways. Breaks it up a little bit. Add a little bit into the ear. Actually, I'm going to move to a little bit of a chunkier one. Sometimes the really thin ones, they don't show up as well. So it's just kind of adding like a little bit of a highlight in the ears. I'll add a little bit here. You won't maybe see all the ones I'm putting in here once I put the flowers in, but it's easier to just throw some in now than once I would have all the mixed media flowers kind of glued on. I'm going to put some in the eyes. And whatever you do on one eye, you have to do on the other. So these, I put 2 little dots going this direction, and I repeated the exact same thing there. Actually, I need to move up to a little bit fatter one for that as well, so I can just put kind of 1 dot instead of trying to color it in. And then I like to do some extra little highlights for a little pizzazz. As you know, I like the pizzazz. Maybe I'll bring in a few of the fatter highlights with the chunkier marker. I did put in just a few little baby eyelashes this time. And now I'm going to start putting in some of the flowers. I have all these here, and then I also have some extra leaves cut out. So I'm just gonna start placing those. I have a glue stick. I also have like this clear tacky gel glue that I used to kind of put some of these little embellishments on. I also have rubber cement, but I'm gonna try just this glue stick real quick first and see how that goes. And I'm gonna bring him down into his forehead as well.
Links turning into chains. Pretend I don't care. One day this all will change. Come along, come along, come away. Let's dance to whatever. Something to remember. Come along, come along, come along, come away. Make me unravel. Forget about the matter.
For these larger ones, I think I'm going to use the this glue, just because it's a little bit stronger. I think I forgot to mention in this video as well, the paper I'm using is a marker paper, usually made out of Bristol paper. So it's very smooth in texture, and it doesn't suck up all of the moisture from the alcohol markers. If you're not careful with the paper you use, it can really eat up all of the India ink that's in the markers, at least with alcohol markers. If there's any part of a horn that you don't like, or antler, I guess, not horns, then you can always just cover it up with one of your flowers.
Aren't you tired of the drama? You use your words like they are knives. I don't need that type of drama, and trying to be tough all the dang time. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong, I'm ready for the rematch. Shoot me down, don't you know I get up? Yeah, baby, I will fight. No, there ain't nothing stopping me. I'm bulletproof, I won't fall. I'm bulletproof, go on and shoot me down. I will always get up again. You're looking at me so cold.
And I have some really small pink and yellow. Thought I might add some to his beard. to bring in that extra Beltane flower warm energy. Sometimes less is more, obviously. Sometimes more is more. You don't even have to have flowers at all. You can only do leaves, cut out, drawn in, like I had drawn in the first time. Usually change it up a little bit, I suppose, whenever I make the video. Not necessarily intentionally, but my creativity gets sparked and I'm like, ooh, what could I do different? Or what could I even do better than I did the first time? Because we always learn and grow the more we do things. It's the beauty of practice, trying new things. Yeah, hopefully as artists are always evolving and changing and growing. At least that's my hope for myself and for you. Now I am going to go in with that shadow color that I started with, which the middle one, which is Absinthe. And I'm going to add a little bit of shading around these leaves because they would be casting a shadow onto his skin because they would be 3D, not flat. So then that can help give the illusion that they're sticking out a little bit. And then you can also take some of the colors and even add in a little bit of shading just to the leaves themselves, just for a little added contrast and interest. You can even kind of color them in different colors a little bit. Kind of look at it as a whole and decide if you want to add anything else. I'll bring in the other one just to kind of compare the faces. I didn't put any little highlights in the mustache, so let me do that. And again, I'm just kind of doing little squiggly lines, kind of picking up the marker, so it's almost like little dashes. Like so. I'm going to add a little highlight underneath here, just because I want to. And there's our green man. There. Kind of like the 3D effect, the mixed media, and I like that I kind of filled it out more. Kind of, it fits his head bigger, like he's supposed to be really masculine and you know, larger than life maybe. Then this is a little dainty. I think each of them are beautiful, but it's nice to try different things, and I like this one quite a bit. One thing I did off camera after I was kind of looking at it is I took my blending stump, and in order to put a little bit more shadow, I just kind of ran it along the outline of his hair and his ears and even within the antlers. And then I went back in with the yellow green and added some more shadows like were around the flowers so that they also would look like they were sticking up. So I just wanted to show that I added that as well. And there we go. Thank you again for joining me today. I wish you a blessed Beltane and a happy May Day. Whatever you do today, I hope that you have a great time, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much.